Hello, Kauai. Here's our COVID-19 briefing from Team Kauai for Monday, January 11th. The Department of Health is reporting one new case today in a female resident. We currently have 18 active cases. All are in isolation and one is hospitalized on Oahu. We have 27 people in health-directed quarantine as close contacts. Our cumulative case count is now 195, including 168 confirmed locally, 1 probable, and 26 tested elsewhere, but reported after arrival on island. Kauai Police and the National Guard this week have been tracking more than 1,600 people in travel-related quarantine. Our phased vaccine distribution program is in full force on Kauai, and this week we'll be starting to vaccinate our teachers, school staff, and kupuna ages 75 and over. There are various ways our residents can get vaccinated. Some will get vaccinated through the Department of Health, while others will get vaccinated through our hospitals and pharmacies. Today we welcome Kauai District Health Officer Dr. Janet Behrman to talk more about our island's vaccine program.
Thank you, Mayor Kawakami. Before we get into the details of our vaccination program, I wanted to address the recent cases we've been seeing here on Kauai. The Kauai District Health Office continues to pay close attention to the sources of COVID-19 infections in our community. Looking back at the 2 weeks from December 25th through January 8th, there were 28 new cases of COVID-19 on Kauai. The large majority of these, 21 cases, were either travelers or had direct contact with travelers. Of the 7 cases considered community acquired, only 2 had no apparent connection to travel. The other 5 were the close contacts of cases who had direct contact with travelers. So of the 28 new cases in the last 2 weeks, only 2 have no known link to travel. Of these 28 cases, 26 were residents and only 2 were visitors. The overall pattern that emerges from this analysis is that most COVID-19 disease in the December holiday period so far occurred in Kauai residents who traveled out of state or were in close contact with those who traveled out of state. This highlights the continued concerns about out-of-state travel and our need to continue heightened safety precautions. If you have traveled, please be extra cautious for the 10 days after you return and comply with the Kauai quarantine requirements. If you feel sick or you're just concerned, please get tested. Let me move on to the vaccination program. Thus far, we've vaccinated more than 3,000 Kauai residents. There are 2 varieties of the vaccine on our island, the ones developed by Pfizer and by Moderna. Both are very effective vaccines. The Department of Health is managing the vaccination program with a number of partners, including hospitals and pharmacies. We started the program with healthcare workers and first responders. Hospitals have been the major partners in vaccinating healthcare workers affiliated with their organizations, and the Department of Health is managing independent healthcare workers. CVS, or LONGS, has been providing vaccination to long-term care facilities. Please note that pharmacies are not providing vaccine on-site at their pharmacies. Hospitals will be the primary providers for kupuna aged 75 and older here on Kauai, and they're expected to announce detailed plans today. Their first clinics are planned for this Friday, January 15th, and will be by appointment only. This week, we are continuing to offer vaccine to more frontline essential workers, including staff in schools, preschools, and daycare, grocery store, food and agricultural workers, postal workers, and residents of small care homes. If you are in one of these groups, you will be notified by your employer or industry groups about when and where to go for your vaccine. Vaccines are being offered to specific groups with pre-registration at hospitals, at the Department of Health Vaccination Center at the Kauai War Memorial Convention Hall, and in the case of residential care facilities, at those facilities. We anticipate there will be more vaccination opportunities as more vaccines arrive on our island. I wanted to be clear that even if you have already been vaccinated, it is still important to take precautions. Kauai can maintain our low rate of disease by continuing to avoid large gatherings, wear masks when outside the home and around non-household members, avoid unnecessary travel, and follow state and county rules related to travel, quarantine, and testing. One of the best places to get information about the vaccination program is at the County of Kauai website, kauai.gov/vaccine. Also, hawaiicovid19.com has a copy of the state vaccination plan and a list of frequently asked questions. Mahalo.
Thank you, Dr. Berriman. As Dr. B mentioned, our hospital partners here on Kauai are starting to vaccinate our kupuna ages 75 and older. If you are 75 and older and would like to get vaccinated, here are your options. Wilcox Medical Center in Lehue will begin administering the Pfizer vaccine to adults ages 75 and older starting Friday, January 15th. The vaccine clinics will be open to the general public. Wilcox clinics are currently scheduled from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Friday, January 15th, Tuesday, January 19th, Thursday, January 21st, and Friday, January 22nd. Vaccines are by appointment only and walk-ins will not be accepted. To register, please register at wilcoxhealth.org/vaccine and a representative will follow up with you. Kauai Veterans Memorial Hospital in Waimea and Samuel Mahilona Memorial Hospital in Kapa'a will also offer vaccination clinics for those 75 and older from 8 a.m. to noon, January 15th, 19th, and 22nd. Appointments are required. To register, please visit kauai.hhsc.org. We will continue to keep you updated as more information is available. The Small Business Administration launched a new round of the Paycheck Protection Program. This program provides forgivable loans to businesses that experience a loss of revenue of at least 25%. Small businesses with 300 or fewer employees are eligible to apply. The PPP loans can be used to cover payroll and other eligible expenses. New applicants can begin applying on Monday, January 11th. Businesses that previously received funding through the PPP can apply for a second draw loan beginning Wednesday, January 13th. To apply for a PPP loan, you should consult with a local lender. Local lenders participating in the program include Kauai Government Employees Federal Credit Union, Hawaii USA Federal Credit Union, Central Pacific Bank, and First Hawaiian Bank. To learn more about eligibility and program details, visit the SBA website at www.sba.gov/PPP. Catholic Charities Hawaii is overseeing a new coronavirus rent assistance program, the Rent Assistance and Mediation Program, or RAMP. It has a cap of $1,500 per household per month. If you've already received assistance from the previous Rent Relief and Housing Assistance Program, you need to reapply for the RAMP program. The online application will be open between January 11th and January 13th between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. To apply or for more information, please visit www.catholiccharities.hawaii.org/housing help. Kauai's new travel rules are now in effect. There are different options for travelers to shorten the required 10-day travel quarantine, whether you are an inter-island or out-of-state traveler. Additionally, our modified quarantine program remains in effect for essential workers or those who must travel for medical needs. For more information on Kauai's travel rules, please visit www.kauai.gov/COVID-19. If you are flying into Kauai and will be subject to quarantine, you must complete a Kauai arrival form. This includes travelers who have received a modified quarantine, those entering the full 10-day quarantine, and resort bubble participants. Travelers can now complete the Kauai arrival form online. This will save you time at the airport. The form is available at kauai.gov/COVID-19. Inter-island travelers who utilize the state's Safe Travels form to be exempt from quarantine are not required to complete this form. COVID-19 is still surging on the mainland. The Centers for Disease Control reports the 7-day average daily case count is 74 per 100,000 people. In California, it is more than 100 per 100,000. Here in Hawaii, numbers are far lower. Maui is seeing 19 per 100,000, Honolulu 14 per 100,000, and here on Kauai, we remain one of the safest places in the nation at a 7-day average of 3 cases per 100,000. We can continue to protect ourselves and others by wearing our masks, keeping adequate distance from others, and avoiding large groups. Mahalo for understanding the role you play in mitigating the spread of COVID-19 on our island. Please continue to stay home as much as possible. Refrain from social gatherings or public outings. If you must interact with people outside of your home, maintain a distance of 6 feet of separation and wear a mask, if at all possible for you to do so. Remember, my mask protects you and your mask protects me. It's a sign of respect and aloha. Do not leave home if you are sick unless you're seeking medical attention, and then only after calling your doctor first. Wash your hands frequently and clean surfaces often. Stay informed and connected during this time of social distancing. We'll continue to post updates on our official County of Kauai Facebook page or on our Kauai Emergency Management Agency page at www.kauai.gov/COVID-19. The Centers for Disease Control is also updating its website regularly. For more information, please visit coronavirus.gov. Not everyone has internet access or follows the news, so please help to keep your loved ones informed. Be kind, take care of one another, God bless, and aloha.